back with another Madden 20 experiment today, and today's experiment is a simple one. We're going to see if a full 99 rated team, every single player on the team being 99 rated with 99 stats across the board, would ever lose a game. We're going to do 5 separate simulations of the first season with this team to see if they ever lose. And if they don't, in that 5th and final simulation, we're going to sim in that particular franchise and see how long it takes and how many seasons for that 99 overall team to dissolve and finally lose a game. Might be the 2nd year or 3rd year, we'll have to see. Hopefully you guys do enjoy today's experiment or enjoying the experiments in general on the channel. If you are, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe if you are new, turn on the notification bell if you haven't. With that said, dudes, just going to show you the lineup. Okay, so I got confused there. I forgot. Just to show that me using the 99 rated team doesn't have anything to do with it. We just picked a completely random team, the Jaguars here. Every team in today's simulation that is the 99 rated is going to be the New York Giants. As you see, every single player has 99 stats across the board and should be able to win each and every game by a lot of points. And with that said, dudes, I want you to let me know in the comment section below, do you think this 99 rated team is ever going to lose a game? And if you don't think they are, let me know also in that comment with this final simulation that we do, how many years you think it is going to take for them to finally lose a game and dissolve as a 99 rated team. With that said, let's see if some type of miracle can happen, some regular NFL team can beat the 99 rated Giants. Look at them, there they are in Super Bowl 54 against the Cleveland Browns. Now the question is though, did they go 16-0? And of course they did. 875 points for, 97 points against. Now I just want to go and make sure, look at their team schedule each and every year and see what the closest game is they came to losing. Now it looks like 42-16, 42-10, 42-28. So that's what I'm saying, dudes. I feel like eventually they have a chance to lose at least one game because they only won this game by 2 touchdowns. For the most part, it was a blowout in each and every game. Now I want to see how they did statistically as well. They should have a ton of players in the top 5 of the MVP race. And they had Saquon, Eli Manning, and that's it in the top 10. But their stats were probably absolutely mental. They had Eli 65 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, only sacked 9 times. I think that's the lowest amount of times I've seen a quarterback sacked all time in any video I've ever done. Saquon, 2,600 yards and 24 touchdowns. The fullback got 20 touchdowns on the year. Corey Coleman, Golden Tate, the only 2 receivers with over 1,000 yards, but 18 touchdowns and 16 touchdowns receptions. And Rhett Ellison, the tight end, had 11 touchdowns receiving. Defensively, B.J. Goodson led the team with 85 tackles. We had Lorenzo Carter with 36 sacks, and then a bunch of different cornerbacks with 2 interceptions. And with that said, my dudes, let's see if the Giants miraculously get beat here by the Browns and they get a huge 52-0 win. Now on to sim number 2. So there they are in sim number 2, once again making the Super Bowl against the Kansas City Chiefs. And yes, they did go 16-0 once again. And once again, I do want to see what the closest game is they came to actually losing in this season. 45-13, 29-8. So it looks like a 3 touchdown win was the closest game they did have on the year. Now, once again, looking at their stats on the season, see who won the MVP. I want to see a defensive player win it. Eli again, Saquon in 2nd. Nobody else in the top 10 from the Giants. Now, Eli Manning, 68 touchdowns, only 1 interception. Now, I think that breaks the record for the least amount of interceptions I've seen a starting quarterback throw in a simulation. Now Saquon, 18 touchdowns, 2,400 yards, receiving yard wise. Golden Tate, I think that's the same amount of touchdowns they both had receiving last simulation. Now defensively, Lorenzo Carter led us, 36 sacks on the year. I think that's exactly the same again. Now time to sim and see if somehow they can lose this Super Bowl against the Kansas City Chiefs. And they get another shutout win, 48-0. Time to jump in to sim number 3. What the heck? Same exact Super Bowl matchup as last time against the Kansas City Chiefs. Let's check. Did they go 16-0? More than likely they did, and they did allow a lot more points though this year than the past few years. Now let's check again. What was the closest matchup they did have on the season? And the closest, I think, thus far was a 14-point win. This year, 35-19, so it's a 16-point game against the freaking Cardinals of all teams. And it looks like Then the Redskins, another 3 touchdown win, 28-7. Imagine allowing a 99 overall team to only have 28 points on the game. Now, moving on, I want to see some type of crazy stats happen, and I want to see a defensive player too come in the top 10. Once again, Eli and Saquon, number 1 and 2, and no other Giant in the top 10. Now, come on, somebody put up some insane stats that we've never seen in any simulation ever. Eli, 68 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 4,869 yards, only sacked 10 times. Saquon, 18 touchdowns, 2,400 yards on the year. Corey Coleman with 1,000 yards. So did Golden Tate. And Golden Tate, 21 touchdowns receiving, which is the most we've seen in today's video. Defensively, we had Mr. Dalvin Tomlinson leading with 31.5 sacks. Imagine having 31.5 sacks or more, not even being in the top 10 of the MVP race. With that said, can the Giants and the 9 overall team get another shutout in the Super Bowl? And they don't, but do get a big win, 42-14. Sim number 4 out of 5, taking on the Ravens this time in the Super Bowl. I'm expecting something to shock us here. They once again went 16-0, didn't lose a game, only allowed 79 points on the entire season. Let's see if somebody got closer than a 2-touchdown loss in this season. And the answer to that is, it looks like no. I think that was, they had the best season thus far. Closest game, I think, was 45-13. So a 32-point win is the closest they came to losing on the year. Now, once again, I want to see a defensive player, man, come in the top 10 here. Saquon wins it this time, so finally something different. Eli in second, and no other Giant in the top 10. Watch somebody have over 50 sacks and still not come in the top 10. I don't think I've ever seen a defensive player ever win the MVP in Madden. 4,400 yards, 58 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, sacked 16 times. Saquon, 24 touchdowns, 2,600 yards, receiving yard-wise. Golden Tate, the only receiver with 1,000 yards on the year. Defensively, looks like we're going down in sacks this time. Actually, the same exact amount of sacks as Dalvin Tomlinson had last year, 31.5. Now, last but not least, let's see if we can win this Super Bowl once again. In simulation number 5, the next one is when, if we win again, go 16-0. We're going to a second season and a third season. See how long it does take for the team to lose. In the moment of truth, we get a huge win again, our 3rd out of 4 shutouts in the Super Bowl, 58-0 against the Baltimore Ravens. Another Super Bowl appearance for the second time against the Cleveland Browns. Our last chance. Did we lose a game? No. So in 5 consecutive sims, this 99 overall team does not lose. So we'll see how long it takes after this season for them to actually lose a game. Now let's see, once again, is the record going to be 14 points, being the closest with this 99 overall team? And the answer to that is 35-17. So that's relatively close. An 18-point ball game. Looks like that's going to be the closest game of the entire year. Although the Redskins, once again, for like I think the second time, relatively close game, 34-10. Now, come on now. Show me something crazy. New York Giants. Dalvin Tomlinson, be up there. Eli, for the 4th time, wins the MVP with Saquon in second. There we are. 2 defensive players. Dexter Lawrence and Dalvin Tomlinson finally come in the top 10. I mean, they probably had 50 sacks. It'd probably take you like 100 sacks to actually win the MVP in all of Madden. And looking at the Giants stats on the year, Eli, 68 touchdowns, 6 picks, 4,800 yards. Did not eclipse 5,000 yards on the video thus far. Saquon, 2,200 yards, 18 touchdowns, receiving yard-wise. Golden Tate, 1,300 yards, 23 touchdowns, which I think does break the record for today's video. Defensively, Dexter Lawrence with 39 sacks, Dalvin Tomlinson with 39.5, yet they don't come in the top 5 in the MVP. At least they did finally come in the top 10. Now, with that said, is it going to be 5 consecutive seasons with huge Super Bowl wins? And the answer to that, yes. Another huge win, 42-14. So 3 huge shutout victories in the Super Bowl, 5 consecutive. Now, we're going to go ahead, since we're not going to take any control of what the Giants do in the offseason. Going to sim next season, and we'll sim the Super Bowl and see if somehow, some way, that team does finally dissolve and lose a game. Yes, the Giants make the next Super Bowl, but the main question, did they lose a game? They didn't. They went 16-0 and actually did better than what they did last year, so that's unfortunate. So it looks like it's going to jump into a simulation number 3. Yep, 43-7 over the Indianapolis Colts. Time to see if the third season of this particular franchise, the 99 overall team, can finally lose. There they are once again in Super Bowl 56. Is that not the second straight year against the Colts? So they lose in year 3? They don't. 16-0 once again. Come on, Colts. In their misery here. Can they finally lose a Super Bowl? This will be the 8th consecutive win. And no, it's getting closer though. 21-point win. I feel like they've got to finally lose a game. They're finally going to lose a game next year. My prediction. For, you know, a 4th straight year, they're in the Super Bowl, and it's getting closer, dudes. As you see, that's the least amount of points they've scored. The Browns actually almost went 15-1. But again, for Super Bowl 57, can the Giants finally lose a game? Taking on the 15-1 Browns, and they... 35-7. 5th year. 5th year is a charm.